Let's implement another really cool and modern feature using the Intersection Observer API. And this time we're going to reveal elements as we scroll close to them. And this effect can give your pages a very nice touch, and you can in fact easily implement it without any external library. So the effect that I mean is this one here with the sections. So watch what happens here. So you see that we basically reveal each section as we approach it. All right. So I'm not talking about these images here yet. So I'm just talking about the sections. So see how it basically slides in like this. All right. And so that's what we're going to do now with all these 4 sections. Now the animation itself actually comes from CSS. And so once more, we will actually achieve this by simply adding a class to each of these sections as we approach them. And so we will do that using the Intersection Observer API once again, because that's really the perfect job for this tool. Okay, so let's actually take a look at our CSS here. So I'm going to write or to search for a section hidden. So this is the class here. And so basically all the sections by default have this class. So let me show that to you also. Well, actually they don't. And of course they don't, because then we could not see them right now. Okay, so we have to add them now as we build this. And so this will basically give them an opacity of 0, and it will move them a little bit down. And so then when we remove this here, it will then move them back up to a translate of 0 rem, basically. Okay, so what I'm going to do is to start by adding this section, or this class actually, to all the 4 sections that we want to apply this effect to. So this one here, then the next one, number 3, and number 4. Yeah. And so now all of them will disappear. Okay. They're simply invisible. They're still there. So we are still like displaying them. And so they preserve their height, basically, but they're now invisible. And so our job is now to remove this class as we approach each of these sections. So reveal sections. So let's say a section observer, new intersection observer, and then here the callback. And let's already create it here. Let's call it reveal section, like this. Entries. And this time we will need the observer. And you will see in a minute why that is. So observer. And of course, these parameters here, as always, can have any name that we want, right? So just like in the callback functions of the array methods, where we can also give them any name. And here it's the same. But this is kind of the standard, and so that's why I keep doing it like this. So reveal section, and then the object of options. So we want to observe all the 4 sections actually in this case. And it is indeed possible to observe them all using the same observer. So let's select all the sections, and then we will observe these as multiple targets, all using this observer that we just created here. So all sections is document.querySelector all. And so that's simply the class section. And now we can loop over this node list with for each. So we use for each whenever we want to do something which does not involve creating a new array. And so here the callback function, I will call it section. And then, just like before, we will use our observer to observe section. And actually, since we're already looping over all these sections, it would probably be a better idea to add this class here, so the section hidden, also using JavaScript. So not do it manually here in the HTML, and instead do it in JavaScript. Because some people actually disable JavaScript in their browser, and then for those users, the page wouldn't really be visible, right? They would then have no way